I bet you're wondering, Jay, are you wearing two color lipsticks right now? And the answer is C. I don't have any external meetings today, so I thought it'd be fun to experiment just to, feel something. And then I thought, hey, we should film that Valentine's Day video. And I forgot I had done this. But hello, internet friends. Bienvenidos a Lima, Peru. And we are back with a thematically appropriate video, hence the thematically appropriate color of t-shirt. So I feel like if you're a returning subscriber, you already know what's going on here. Honestly, you're surprised I haven't done this video sooner. This is exactly the kind of behavior you would expect from me, your favorite three-dimensional character. If you're new here, you saw the title, you were intrigued, you were titillated. To catch you up really quick, I have a type. Cue the montage. I love like a murderous woman.
I like murder. Hypothetically.
Do they kill people?
I think they do.
I love that.
Yeah, I know you love a murderous woman. You've literally said that before.
I want a girlie who's good at murder and is unbothered by it.
I think she gets even and she becomes like an outlaw. I know, I told you, you love a murderous woman.
I like how scary they are.
Do they eat people? I don't think they eat people. But it has something to do with
I don't wanna. I like how society underestimates them, but they can still kill you. I don't know what to tell you. I have a type, and that's my type. So POV, it's Valentine's Day season. You are a single Pringle. That's probably a good thing because your type is women who would murder you. In that vein, what are you watching? What are you reading? I have you covered. On my laptop that tells me what to say, when to say, and also make sure that no fires happen while I'm working. I have some recommendations for books, TV shows, movies that capture kind of like a murderous girly energy, to like kind of like get out your like, I'm in love with Aubrey Plaza, but she will never see me or be in the same room as me sort of energy. These recommendations aren't like all about like women who murder people, but it just kind of captures like the energy of like a murderous woman. It goes from like kind of like adorable murderous girly like antics to like full-blown like I'm in love with a murderous woman, and if this was to play out in real life I would be dead. Okay, let's go through these recommendations. First up on the list is a TV show called Wedding Season. I watched this on Hulu in Los Estados Unidos. I don't know if it's available in other countries. Basically, you begin the story with a man who's just kind of like a hopeless romantic and also a bit of a dumbass. The cold open is him yelling, "I object," at a wedding, telling your bride, "Girl, I love you, I know you love me, let's run away together." And homegirl responds unfavorably. She's not happy this man's here. He kind of rips him a new one. And then now we have to cut back to the past to see how we got to this silly, goofy present. To give like a non-spoiler pitch, it's like one of those shows that you start off thinking you're in for one story about like a hopeless romantic who's kind of like dumb and silly and pining after this girl who apparently is either leading him on or doesn't love him. And then the story you get is completely different. There's action, there's betrayal, there's high stakes. Like the switch in energy was so fun and I found it super delightful. Is that a car alarm? Am I gonna have to re-record this later? This happens all the time. I think that's perfectly fine to film right now, and then it's not. Uno momento, por favor. Okay, we're just gonna keep going because, whatever. There will always be background noise. So blah blah blah, something something something, action-packed, super into it. If you go into it expecting nothing, you're gonna be super delighted. I watched this in a weekend and I absolutely just blew right through it. The experience of watching it was just a really fun time. And like when the story takes the turn, you're just kind of like, I've already buckled my seatbelt. Let's see where this car is taking us. I will say, one problem I had with it was that I felt like the woman's motivation was just like a little underbaked. I felt like the writers could have picked like more interesting motivation for her action, as it is like the driving force of the plot. But if you just turn off your brain and enjoy it, you're gonna have a good time. Side note, this actress, I'm low-key in love with this actress. She is in a Netflix show called Brand New Cherry Flavor, and it's so good. However, you do kind of have to have a tolerance for gore to enjoy it. If I do like a horror Netflix recommendations, it's gonna be on the list. She's so good in it. Like, she gets off murderous girly energy in Brand New Cherry Flavor. That is when she's at her murderous girly height. This is murderous girly light. Okay, moving on to the next one. The next recommendation is a movie. I have no idea where you would find this. You should probably just rent it on whatever. You know, like rent the movie, treat yourself. It's called Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Like the book with the same name, it was adapted into a movie many years ago. I actually saw an early screening of this in theaters and I loved everything about it. Like the title says it all. It's a plot of Pride and Prejudice, but they live in a world where there is a zombie apocalypse and you send your children off to like train to fight zombies, but they also like need to get married off and stuff and blah blah blah. As someone who doesn't like classics, this movie made me appreciate the story of Pride and Prejudice itself. I'm not proud of it, but this was like the way to get me to eat my vegetables, you know what I mean? So I would recommend it. Get your friends together, you're gonna have the best time and you'll thank me for it. My third recommendation is the show Unreal. This used to be on Lifetime. It also used to stream on Hulu. I'm so angry that they took it off because I had no idea where you could watch it. Unreal follows a fictionalized version of the show The Bachelor, and specifically the producers behind the scenes. Disculpe! And specifically it follows the producers behind the scenes who are making shit happen, who are creating all of the drama, causing all the fights, manipulating everything for the cameras. Before you ask, no, there is no murder in it. However, the main character, Rachel, gives off murderous woman energy. To me, Rachel gives off manslaughter energy. She gives me like, I murdered this man in self-defense, but I'm going to be extremely effective in cleaning up the body. That's the energy that Rachel gives me. Rachel wants to be a good person, but she's just so good at not being. She's a masterful manipulator. It's just like as natural as breathing to her. You know, it's bad, she's doing bad things, but it's also incredible to see a master at work. Okay, the last recommendation on the list is a book, actually. So we have House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. Okay, so this is like less like romantic, like murderous girly, and this is murderous woman. We are in a murderous woman territory. This is like play out your your murderous girlfriend fantasies here in a safe environment. So basically the House of Hunger follows this fictional world where there are, I think, it is unclear to me if they were vampires. I thought that they were, but then I found out later that some people don't consider them vampires. I thought they were vampires. And some young human women volunteer themselves to be blood maidens and live in the manners of these vampires and are basically like little blood vessels and also maybe concubines. If you're gonna read this book, you have to go into it with very specific expectations. If you want to read a book about a young woman who like enters like an indentured servitude for a house of vampires and then has to escape said house of vampires, this is a 3-star read. If you wanted to be an indentured servant to a house of hot lady vampires, it's a 4 out of 5. I think if you're just looking for just like a light, spicy time, this is exactly what you need, and it is a perfectly enjoyable experience. A salsa that everyone at the table can enjoy. It's really not that spicy. That is my humble pitch to you. Okay, so now that I have finished this video, of course traffic has decided to have a quiet lull. But how was that for you? Did you like these recommendations? Are you intrigued by like exploring some murderous girly romantic comedies this romantic season? If you do, let me know. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hopefully I'll still be alive.